Hey, did you guys like that new intro? It's for the consulting company, and plugging this channel to at the same time. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, so hey, listen, if you're new here, I have got 300-400 videos out there, ranging in all kinds of topics, even my little political rants, which I'm not. I don't care if you agree with my political slant or not. I really don't. Love you just the same, okay? But if you like your videos, go ahead and please. It helps with the YouTube. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you don't like it, leave a comment. That sucked. Whatever, So I do appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this. I've had a lot of guys asking that are setting up new cattle operations, and it's very hard, sight unseen, to really give you rock solid advice. But let me give you some general advice, okay? Especially the one fellow was kind of like, do I go with registered? Do I go with, commercial cows? What's the best way to go? Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get in as a commercial breeder, or you're breeding registered cattle, of course you're going to have to go registered. It is a lot more work and a lot more paperwork. So keep that in mind. If you just like raising cattle and selling cattle and making enough money to keep the wolves from the door, commercial herds work well. I ran both, and it worked out very well. That may be an avenue for you to look into. Your biggest thing about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Every piece of land is different. What kind of pasture mix you use, that's really critical. And I've got a lot out there about regenerative agriculture and utilizing your land to the best of your ability for putting in pastures. A good mix. I see so many guys out there who's like, oh, my cows fluctuate up and down their weight, and they do this and they do that. And I look, and they got a fescue pastures. It's like you just feed them one thing. Huh? You got to diversify that pasture. And you can put a mix out there to where your cattle put on weight twice as fast. They don't need as much as far as wormers, because you've planted the natural dewormers for those cows. Not as much insecticides need to be used on them, because guess what? You planted cedar trees in your tree line, kept the limbs down low, about 3.5-4 foot off the ground, where they can get underneath there and rub their backs on it. Cedar is a natural insecticide. Things like that you just cut the costs out. Okay, you just really do. Putting your fencing in, if you have to install fencing, do it right. Do it right the first time. A little more expensive going in, but you're going to pat yourself on the back later on for the headaches and the extra expense it's going to cost taking care of it. These are kind of solid things. Depending on what size you're starting off with, I'd say if you're starting off with a herd of 5 or 6 cows, you have a barn with some small stalls, you could probably get by without any real equipment. A head gate, bare minimum, if you're going over that number. You need a way to secure that cow so that you can work on it if it gets hurt, or if you're out giving vaccines or whatever, you're going to need some equipment. All right. Now, if you're doing a large herd, if you're looking to buy into a large herd, get yourself a good clamping headgate system where you can clamp that animal down. Even a lot of them, you can pivot them from side to side. It will save you time and money in the long run. Okay. Keep it in good condition. I see so many guys that just start letting them rust away. Doesn't take nothing. Take a little sandpaper, knock off where the paint peeled, shoot a little more paint on it, go on about your business. It will keep the condition of that for you. Lube your joints. Yeah. Simple things. High maintenance. Take care of your maintenance items. Take care of your tools, and your tools are going to take care of you. That's simple. But as far as starting out with a herd, if you're looking to just raise a commercial herd, if you don't know cattle really well, you might want to find somebody that does and have them go out to the auctions with you. I prefer farm to farm sales because, to be quite honest with you, you have more of an option to get out there, look at their operation, and go, okay, this guy's doing it right. And out of 10 calves you may see out there, one or two of them may be exceptional looking animals. Those are the ones you want to get to, okay? That's the genetics in them. If they're a big muscular looking thing, probably the cow you want, okay? Now, if it's a cow, it may not even breed. You never know. That's the gamble of this business. And if it doesn't, then you can run it right back into the auction and unload it. But cost is everything. The younger you can buy the cattle, the cheaper they are. Okay? Keep that in mind. And what you want to do, that cow's going to produce 10 calves on average. The more that cow costs you, the more money you got to have out of each one of those calves, and you may not always get it. That's where you start losing your touch. You want to keep that cow's cost down as low as you can. If you're dealing with a commercial herd, you want good stock. I usually always like to keep a registered bull for servicing the herd because it refreshes and keeps up the genetics, and you can swap them out. A lot of times you can find neighbors where you got a neighbor who's got an Angus bull and you got a Brangus bull or whatever. Say, hey, how about you swap me out this breeding season? Get some fresh genetics in your herd, get some fresh genetics in mine. Make a little trade. Neither one of you are out any money, and there you go. So there's ways of doing that. Get to know your neighbors, be nice to them. Don't be throwing rocks at them. 'Cause sometimes they come in real handy. Okay, little advice. Okay, try to be the nice guy. You want to keep your costs down. How do you keep your costs down? Ways like I was telling you. Good mix and pasture. You will be amazed at the difference between a regenerative mixed pasture that has a lot of varieties out there and how much weight that cow puts on every month, as opposed to a plain grass pasture. They can't compete, okay? Mixed feed, you have what Joel Salatin says it best. He feeds his cows salad. It's a blend. Go with natural. You can actually raise, if you're looking to just process a commercial herd, you can go with grass-fed beef, more money in your pocket, right? More money. You can have a cow-calf operation where the faster you can get that calf to about 800 pounds, the faster you get it out of your pasture and put money back in your pocket. If you're looking to become a breeder, if you're new to cattle, don't do it. I'm telling you. Okay? You will be kicking yourself big time. Get your experience with the commercial herd starting out. That way you know what works and what doesn't work. And then if you want to get into breeding, just remember, reputation to a breeder of registered animals is 90% of the battle. If you are known in your area as being a breeder of high quality cattle, you're gonna see more business coming your way, and they're willing to pay a little more for your animals. Try to keep that in mind. I would not say somebody new to the cattle industry to jump into breeding. I really don't. Learn your breeding skills, your husbandry skills on a commercial herd. It makes it easier to get rid of your mistakes, and they're a lot less costly. And I've always said this, and I'll continue to say it. Experience comes one mistake at a time, right? Especially when you're starting out. So for new folks coming into the industry that want to get into cattle, that would be my suggestion. If you're looking to put any number of cattle out on your land, then here's really a strong suggestion, number 2 for you. Infrastructure first. When you start having to handle large a decent amount of cattle. For your own safety, for the animal safety, make darn sure that you have the infrastructure to deal with them. You need a corral, you need a head gate, squeeze chutes, things of this nature. You need a trailer to transport animals. You need these things. You're going to have your feeders and your waterers and yada, yada, yada. Get that first, okay? I've seen guys that had the money to go out and buy a dozen cows and then didn't have enough money to get their equipment and had problems because of that. Infrastructure first. Make sure you have barns that you can utilize for dealing with stock. Make sure you have your gates, your corrals. Get all that stuff taken care of. You got plenty of work to get busy on. Now, if you're talking about 3 or 4 calves you want to throw out there just to get a start, okay. If you haven't been in cattle before, talk to some of the local farmers around there that have been raising cattle for years and see if they can help you. I prefer and strongly recommend farm-to-farm sales, where you go to a farmer that's raising cattle and buy some of his stock. What that's going to do for you, especially if you're buying calves, you get to look at his operation. Is his operation a good one? Okay. Does his animals look good? Does his pastures look good? You know, are they healthy? You don't have to walk around and look at a few cow patties to go, this isn't too good. Start looking at their operation and their cattle. And sometimes out of several calves out there, you'll find 1 or 2 shining stars. That's what you want, is those shining stars. And get them back on your land and get them working. Like I said, if you're new to the business, I really strongly recommend commercial herds. A lot of states have different, through your extensions, have different education programs for raising cattle. In Tennessee and I think several other states, they have what they call the Beef Master program. A heck of a way to go. Okay, a heck of a way to go. It gives you your basic information. Now, take that information, run out and buy a registered herd? No, you're going to lose your shirt. But go out and start your commercial herd. Now, you'll probably need a registered bull just for the solid genetics. But go ahead and get that mixed in, raise that commercial herd. And once you're comfortable and you can look and see, it's like, my cows put on weight good, they're always healthy, they look good, you know. I've got my husbandry skills honed up a little bit to where I can turn in some pretty nice looking cattle. Now you're ready. Okay, now you're ready. Understand the guys you're going to be competing with in the registered line as a breeder are the best in the business, most of them. And you're going to run in direct head-to-head competition with these guys. They already have one leg up on you, reputation. Reputation means a lot in breeding. Okay, it really means a lot. It means the difference. You have to go out and scrounge up customers, and the customers coming to you. See what I'm saying? When you have a good reputation, people be hunting you down to get cattle. When somebody's saying, I'm looking for a good registered bull, other farmers say, go see this guy. He has some good stuff. That's what you're looking for. And that takes time to build. It really does. So having a decent commercial herd to back up your income while you're beginning that really is a plus too. Okay. So here we go. Number 2, the 2 most important things. Make sure you have the infrastructure to deal with the number of cattle you're dealing with. Make sure that you buy, the cheaper you can put a cow out on the pasture, the better off you are. Because what she's going to do, she's going to produce I like to go with a conservative estimate of about 10 calves in her lifetime. So every $10 you can save off the price of her makes her calves $1 cheaper to sell and make a profit. That's what my main point is here. The cheaper you can get good calves on your place and start in, it takes a little time to get them up and going, usually about 18 months, most of them, depending on how well they put on weight and so forth. Well, that's a good weight. And I'm sure you got things to do around there, like extra fencing and getting your infrastructure put in to deal with a larger herd, things of that nature. You've got stuff to do. Get that going. And if you can, if you can survive through that growth period, because cattle aren't quick turns, if you can survive that growth period by calves from other farms that are in good shape, got good genetics in their herds, you will start making money when those girls start breeding. That simple. You want those cows to where they can put on a lot of weight off of your pasture, which means you've got to have a good mix of feed out there. I go out many times and guys are complaining their cows aren't putting on enough weight and they lose weight during the winter and yada, yada, yada. You go look out there and they got fescue grass growing. That's it. Just one, maybe two varieties of just grass. Like, man, you need to pasture. Them cows want a salad. Okay? They want a variety of things. And you can get out there and find out and start looking, and you will find that there's a lot of plants out there that you can put out there in that pasture. It'll cause your cows to put on more weight so fast it'll make your head swim. And your neighbors will be going, how are you doing that? Of course, you're also going to take the heat from your neighbors at first about what kind of weeds are you planting out there. Yeah, because it doesn't look pretty. Cows love it though. And there's things you can do. It cuts down on your wormers. You can plant plants out there that are natural wormers for cattle. While you're setting up your land, if you need to, if it doesn't have a lot of cedar trees, go along a creek row or something like this, plant a bunch of cedar trees. They're a natural insecticide. Here you're looking long term. It may cost you some money putting it in, but in the long term, it's going to save you on pesticides year after year, because you keep those branches down low to where they can get in there and rub that cedar on their backs. Less flies, okay? The less flies, the better. You want to keep them out on pastures. Pick your breeds carefully. Look at your climate, look at your terrain, look at all these things. What animal is going to do best? Okay? That's what you're looking for. If you got pastures that get a lot of sunshine and it gets hot in the summer, you better be looking at their cow radiators, their ears. You want a big-eared animal. Okay, that's what you're shooting for. Brangus and things of this nature are like that. Because what you'll do, if you put on a hot pasture, if you put a Brangus alongside an Angus, that Brangus will be out there grazing most of the day. When it gets hot, that Angus is headed for shade. And it'll be back out there at night, which you really don't want happening because of things like coyotes and so forth. But that Brangus will be out there eating and doing her thing in the heat of the day, because she stays cooler with those big ears flapping in the breeze. Stock ponds, be careful with. You really don't want your cattle standing around in stock ponds. You end up with a lot of hoof rot, and then you're paying vet bills, and you're working with, taking care of their hooves, and you don't want to do it. Okay, give them access to it a little bit, or if you want to use a stock pond for watering or something of that nature, that's fine. I have found if you got a well, you're better off just getting waters, unless you're really into fishing and want to put some bluegill or whatever out there. Okay, just some advice. You sit down and you make out a plan, and you want to institute that plan as inexpensively as you can. Use your head, look long term, you'll do just fine. Pick your breed according to your area. Go talk to the local farmers that are raising cattle. What are they raising? Because they've probably already made the mistakes. Before you know it, you'll be an experienced stockman. But here's the secret, and this is what they don't like to tell you, but I'm going to tell you the secret. The secret to becoming an experienced stockman, that experience comes one mistake at a time, usually. You learn from your mistakes. Keep that in mind. Build yourself some quality stock. Get your kids involved in 4-H if you got a bunch of them running around the house. Get them into state to train a bull or a cow to go into state for the 4-H or FFA or something like that. get some ribbons on the wall. It helps. Okay. Bit of a pain in the butt, but the kids love it, and it helps you out. This is Rich, Tennessee Homestead. Hope this helped you out a little bit. If not, leave some comments in this thing. If you still got some questions or want some more detailed answers, leave some comments in there. But I thought I had so many comments along this line, I thought I'd just take care of a video and then tag you all to go take a peek at it, okay? As soon as I get it up, you'll be getting a notification that the message came back at you, and I'll give you the URL to it, okay? So let's use our heads. Cost. Cost is everything. You're running a business. Okay, and any good businessman knows his cost down to the penny, because when that big check comes back on the big sale, you got to be able to look at that check and go, well, you know what? 3/4 of it's got to go back into my operation to keep abreast. Because if you're not putting money back in and just drawing it out, you're not going to be around very long. Okay. Love you guys. I appreciate you. Be happy to help you any way I can. Let me know. Take care.